Hey my good friends, Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. On the special report, it was announced today that General Motors is selling their entire European arm of operations, Opel Vauxhall, to Paris-based automaker PSA Group. What that means to us here in the United States, it's coming right up. Long rumored, the sale will include both Opel and Vauxhall brands along with all of their associated assembly plants, an engineering center, and the GM financing arm for Europe. The $2.2 billion acquisition will make PSA Group, who manufactures Peugeot, Citroën, and DS, the second largest manufacturer in Europe. British brand Vauxhall was purchased by General Motors in 1925, with Opel of Germany being purchased in 1931. After World War II, the brands eventually became merged for all intents and from the 1980s on offered virtually identical product. In the United States, we've had a short offering of Opel products in the 1960s and 70s, but we know their cars well in the past decades, having seen many of them in the form of Saturns, Buicks, and even Cadillacs. Today, the Buick Regal and the Buick Cascada, for instance, are sourced from Opel in Europe. And that gets us to how will that affect us here in North America? Well, first of all the vehicles we currently know that are sold here that are built by Opel Vauxhall, that'll continue to be the case until those vehicles reach the end of their life cycle. From that point forward, all their new product will be developed and known intellectually by PSA Group. General Motors says, however, that they'll continue to work with the PSA Group to develop shared technologies for cars such as electrification. It basically means that at some point, the GM products that we've come to know that are sourced from Opel and Vauxhall, whether it be the cars or the platforms, well, they're going to have to start coming from somewhere else, and that means either here at home or General Motors' Asian partners. And the thing is, General Motors has rated the Opel parts bin for decades for many of their North American built products, so the sale will force them to look within going forward when it comes to engineering. Of note, however, with Buick being all but a Chinese brand now, we could begin to see more of their models sourced from that continent. General Motors will still have a footprint in Europe, however, as their Chevrolet and Cadillac brands still sell some American-sourced models, but not in very large numbers. And the sale for $2.2 billion does sound like a bargain, but it also has to be considered that General Motors is handing $3+ billion right back to settle pension and retirement obligations, and will likely spend another billion or so on retained pension plans as part of the deal. So at the end of the day, it really is a bit of a loss. But the sale does allow GM the freedom to spend more on product development on what they would otherwise spend over there. And that means more vehicles right here at home where their bread and butter is made. For the PSA Group, this acquisition gives them two more brand networks and product lines to expand their growth into a large part of Europe where they haven't really reached their full potential. Now, this deal actually is hitting a few political headwinds over in Europe because the melding of French and German business, when you start talking about unions and a lot of different things going on over there politically, it can get a little bit fishy. Well, not like here in the United States where everything's easy. Anyway, the deal should close by the end of the year if nothing comes up. Until then, click right here and see our latest video, or click right there, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Either way, stay tuned.